Hey YouTube, we've got a dryer here. It's not heating. It'll turn on, it'll run, but the heating element will not turn on. So it's just basically on a fluff air all the time. There's a couple reasons it could be doing that. We're going to go through each one. I'm going to run through the list and we're going to go through it together in the video. The first could be the breaker, could be off, might not be plugged in right, could be too much lint, could be one of your 4 thermostat units, which could be your cycling thermostat, your dryer thermal fuse, the thermal cutoff switch, the high-limit thermal cutoff, the timer, the wiring, could be the heating coils. So let's go step by step, slower through each of those, and diagnose what the issue is with this machine. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go out and check your breakers. This is going to be an outside breaker box that we're checking because it's an electric dryer. It's 220. So you're going to look and see where the dryer is. You're going to make sure they're both on. Your dryer will have 2 breakers that it's running off of. Let me help a little bit with the lighting there. Your dryer's going to be running off 2 breakers, probably both 30 or 50s. So check to make sure they're both on. Next up, you need to make sure that it's plugged in all the way. If it's not plugged in all the way, it might be enough power for it to at least make the motor turn the drum inside, but maybe not enough to heat it up. So make sure it's plugged in all the way. If that still doesn't fix it, then we need to take the machine apart. If we need to take the machine apart, let's unplug the dryer so you don't get electrocuted. One more easy thing to check would be your dryer lint. You can check inside your tubes, make sure that it's venting okay. You can check your dryer lint catcher on the front. Sometimes it's inside. This one, it's not perfect, but that's more than enough to let some air get through. So we've checked the easiest things. For the rest of these, in order to check to make sure that the machine's working correctly, you're going to need an ohm meter. So here's mine. I'm going to set it to the lowest continuity setting. So in this case, it's 200, and it looks like the battery's about dead, but we'll make it work. Okay. After that, now we need to take apart this back side. There's a whole bunch of little screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way around. We'll take all those off. All right, after we've done that, this whole back panel should lift off pretty easy. Oh, sorry, there's one more. Huh. There we go. The whole thing just lifts off. Bada bing, bada boom. Now it'll probably be a little dirty inside. So the first thing we're going to check are these 4 sensors here. You've got 1, 2, 3. Let me bend that down just a little bit for you. 3, and then a 4th. This is a thermal fuse. So let's check each of these real quick. Now again, I've got my ohm meter on. Okay. I'll hang this up here so you can kind of see what it's reading. So I'm going to disconnect the wires on my thermal fuse. I only really need to pull one off. So I'm going to check one side, check the other side. You can see there it's pulling a number. Okay. So there is continuity. Power is able to flow through the fuse. So the fuse is good. I'm going to go to the next sensor. This one I'm just going to do on each of them. Now on this one, I believe this is the thermostat, is what it's called. You're going to check the high and the low. There's continuity. Okay, it should read 0 or something close to 0. I don't know if you're able to really see that very well. There, yeah, you can see it's reading 0. If it reads 1 or if it doesn't change, the sensor's bad. Okay. Over here, we're going to jump to this one. I'm going to pull off the top. Pull off the bottom. There we go. Put one lead on one side, one lead on the other. It's showing 0. Perfect, so there's continuity. I'm going to plug it back on. Last one, I'm going to check this top one. Check the top. Check the bottom. Again, it's reading 0. So all 3 of the sensors, the 3 thermostats, you got your thermostat, your high cutoff switch, and your thermostat cutoff. Then the thermal fuse, all 4 of those were good, so that's not the issue. So let's check the timer next. Okay, the timer is going to be up in this top piece here. So I'm going to take off these screws, and then we'll check the timer. All right, so here we've got the timer apart, and I've taken off the wires that are on the BU and the BK. Those are the two that we're wanting to ohm between, okay? The BU and the BK. So look for those letters. And again, you're going to just get your ohm meter. Again, if you don't have an ohm meter, maybe you can just run over to Harbor Freight or your local store, and you can usually pick one up for pretty cheap. I ohm it, and it shows 0. So perfect. That means that we have continuity there, so the timer is good. So we've gone through, we've checked all the different sensors, we've tried just about everything. The only thing left is the wiring that could be bad, or your heating coils, for an electric one specifically. Heating coils can run you $200 to $300. So if that's the issue, you might as well get a new dryer. If it's the wiring, then you need to go through and check each of the connections one at a time, and that can take a while. So I will attach another video that goes through checking the heating coils. But again, if it's your heating coils that are the issue, you might just want to get a new one. Same thing with the timer. The timers can run you as much as $200. So if it's the timer that's gone bad, new timer for $200 or just a whole new dryer for $500? Good question. So anyway, that was this video. Hopefully it helped. If you liked it, you should please like and subscribe. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below.